And this is Mr. Rob Runner here again, and in this video we're going to be talking about some not so stylish techniques, but very useful and tactical techniques for characters with a dash in Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Two main techniques we're going to cover today. Firstly is the Rev Dash. Now this is a pretty simple technique. It's quite similar, if not easier, than what would be called wave dashes in other games. I think in this game we've decided to term it rev dashing, but basically it's when you're using the rev button for your dash, as we know here. This is really great for, as I'm sure you've heard, like frame kills, because you can get the perfect amount of, dashes in to be plus in the opponent's face. You just hold the rev button, hold forward, and then you get auto-timed dashes. But if you want to make your dash more fast, like if you're actually trying to use it to get in rather than frame killing, you can make it more like a run by doing these kind of cancels. How do you do this cancel? Well, you are just holding forward and rev once again, but you just jiggle in between forward and diagonally down forward. Because if you do forward and down, you're just going to break into this, and that's not really going to... Oh, I guess it kind of works, but it's a lot easier, especially if you're on pad like I am on an Xbox controller. You can just wiggle the diagonally down and forward, and that is really input. Now unfortunately it isn't something you can just like mash, because then like if you are mashing it as fast as you can, kind of actually it doesn't work too badly. You can maybe just do that if you like, but it does work a little bit better if you do get like the timing down for it and just like do and you can get some really funky looking hops. So yeah, sorry PC. That's really good. It's just one example, like with Billy here, where that's useful. He can normally get, around 2 dashes from his, regular ender, but if it's from a button, that +7, it's not really meaning so much from this distance. He can't really get his buttons, but if you use this technique, instead of 2 dashes, he can get like 3, weird dashes. And then you're +2 right in the opponent's face, where before, just for reference, we would have been +7 but not right in their face. So you can cover a lot more distance for certain like knockdowns, or just like generally trying to move in close to the opponent, whether it's on your own advantage or not. And then like in this advantage where you were even further away, that was a bit too much. We can be +2, and almost, maybe if I had to have my timing slightly better, we would have been close enough for a close button there. But that's basically full screen from any of my knockdowns, and I can get close enough. Oh, that was one too many there. But as you can see, it does have a big difference to how much distance you can cover, and it's a really relatively easy technique. You can kind of just wiggle along, and it's just good for getting close. And it makes your movement a little bit more unpredictable instead of just do. People can really freak out if you're suddenly doing some weird wiggles into a throw or whatever. So that's the first technique. That's the Rev Dash. Next is getting Rev Dash inputs into your specials. Now, for Billy, a classic example would be this. This is normally the only super you can go from this without doing any other extension, but this super does more damage, but it wouldn't connect from this. And especially if you don't input it. And it's really hard to do a dash into a super, because then you do forward into a super, and in small juggle timings that is very tricky. But with the rev special input, you just add a rev to any of your forwards in your inputs. Whether it's a DP, it can be like forward rev, down forward into a DP, like. Or with a super, it's very easy, because you can just go down forward rev, down forward button. So I go super easy, and doing it in raw and neutral it doesn't look like fancy, because it kind of just looks like a dash and then went for a super, but trust me, when you're doing this in a combo, it makes the input way more easy and tolerable. That was really easy, really simple. Like, I didn't have to be super fast and go dash, like it was kind of just like almost putting 2 specials, like the dash was its own special, and then my super was also just a single special instead of a down forward. It's just a really useful technique if your characters ever need to get closer to get some kind of special or super. Really handy. You can optimize a little bit better that way. And as a bonus tip, I just wanted to show one more example relevant to the characters that I play, and that's Don Juan. His classic combo is something like this. and you can throw a super at the end instead of the special if you want. That's normal. But you can actually make it a little bit cooler by adding in some of these micro dashes. And yes, Don Juan isn't actually a dash character, he's a run character, but the same thing applies with this like special Rev Dash super technique. There you go. I think in that option, or in that example, it shows it much more clearly how there's actually some kind of dash cancel into the special. He does like a really just like a zip forward before he does the EXDP. And that example I think is, at least for me, an easier way to input this little bit of an extra micro dash into his combo, because it doesn't require you to kind of like manually time and see when he runs forward and then go for the regular DP like in this one. And yeah, it's just really cool being able to use the Rev button like that. Because it just really shows like a little bit of an advanced technique thrown into your combo. And yeah, you're just getting an extended version of the special basically, where he does like this super dash forward into the thing. It's so cool. And yeah, so I'm just, after the light stomp, I'm just holding forward in Rev, and then going down, and then actually forward, instead of like diagonally down forward, like actual DP input, because that just gives you a better odd of getting the little bit of a dash before it comes out. And it's very cool, and it leads to very high damaging combos. And yeah, those are 2 dash techniques in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.